Okay, we've probably all seen the church marketing signs at some point in our life, right? You're driving down the highway, you look to the side, and you see the cheesy little sign. Maybe it says something like this: "Walk with Jesus, it's cheaper than gas." Okay, now how many of you think this is the most effective way to market to a non-Christian? No one, okay? I'm in agreement with you. Okay, churchmarketingsucks.com. Jesus needs newpr.net. Not Jesus, bad church marketing, and trading good ethics for bad church marketing. These are real existing websites and articles that have been written over the past 5 years that talk about how bad church marketing is. Now, of course, it would be a generalization to say that all church marketing is bad, but today I want to talk to you a little bit about how we can use church marketing effectively. I'll be going through the importance of advertising, church marketing, suggestions for marketing a church, and then some conclusions. So let's get started. First of all, we know that our society is increasingly visual. Michael Schrade from the LA Times says, "There is little question that our media shape our culture, and no question that we're shifting from a culture built on words to one based on images. Figuring for media hype inflation, a picture's worth 10,000 words these days, and a film clip is worth even more. Words are now those things that simply link up the images, a complement to communication, not a focus. Movies and videos, not speeches and text, determine cultural literacy." Now, as this quotation tells you, our society is truly becoming increasingly visual. We're not so much focused on just what you can tell us, but what can you show us? How can we understand it for ourselves? DeSanza and Lega said, "A person's success in business or professional career depends in large measure on the ability to communicate with others." Now, we probably all know the value of communication. We've all taken a comms class, or we've been in a situation where communication was really the fundamental process that we needed in order to make our point heard. So let's talk specifically about how we can use communication in a church. The ancient art of kokoyaku, okay, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is basically the Japanese form of baseball. Now, Van Emmen, who is a practitioner in the area of church advertising, said, "Sport is like martial arts. We don't aim to expose our opponent's weaknesses, but to exert our potential strengths. Our opponent is not the enemy." So in this form of baseball, they don't worry about whether they're playing a team who is much worse than them. They worry about how they can exert their strength and how they can show their strength in every situation. This is how we should view marketing in the church. Dave Terpstra, who wrote an article entitled "A Different Kind of Church," talks about how the problem with church marketing is that a lot of times we try to say our church is different and we do things differently. Well, why would we need to say that we're different unless we're competing with other churches, right? So who are we marketing to? Are we trying to market to people that are already in another church to get them out to boost our membership numbers? Or are we trying to market to people that are lost, that truly need salvation? Or are we trying to market the causes that we're trying to support, the things that truly show the love of Christ? So what are we doing? Who are we marketing? Is it a competition? Is it really about beating the competitor? Or is it about promoting the same cause as the body of believers? So here's some suggestions for how you can implement church marketing. First of all, start simple, okay? Develop a mission statement. It's very easy, but if you don't know what your church is or who you are, where you're headed, you'll have no way to advertise. This is an example from the church that I grew up in. It says, "New hope exists to enable people to become obedient followers of Jesus Christ." So simple, straightforward, but it reaches the target market, which is the believers that are already in the church as well as the lost. Those who are already in the church, already saved, already know Christ as their personal Savior, can become obedient followers and can fulfill their purpose. Those that are lost, it enables them to come to know Christ. So as you can see, this is a simple way to start and a great way to start your advertising marketing. So here's a couple statistics for you from the search engine marketing professional organization. It's called Simpo. North American advertisers spent $5.75 billion on search engine marketing in 2005, which was a 44% increase compared to 2004. So as you can see, in just 1 year, it grew 44%. And search engine marketing spending is projected to reach $11 billion by the end of 2010. So as you can see, marketing for businesses is becoming increasingly online. We're not seeing as many billboards or online print magazines. I'm sorry, not online, but print magazines. We're seeing more online. So one thing I would suggest is starting online. Consumers spent more time online with mobile media and paid television, such as cable, premium channels, and video on demand in 2008 than in 2007. Less time was spent with broadcast TV, radio, print media, and out-of-home media such as billboards or bus shelter ads. So we know that advertising is everywhere we go. We know we walk down the street, we see product placement in videos, and even video games are beginning to have even more product placement. But it doesn't change the fact that online marketing is still the most prevalent. So as I said before, the first thing that I would suggest is online marketing. These are some very cheap and easy ways to market for your church. These things cost nothing. How many of you have a Facebook? Okay, almost everyone in here raised their hand. Well, have the church youth group create a Facebook group or start an event where you invite people in your community. It's a great way to network, as well as, if one person has 500 friends and the next person has another 500 and they invite every one of them, you've just invited 1,000 people by using 2 students in your youth group. And it costs you absolutely nothing. So it's very budget friendly. Then Twitter. A great idea is to have your staff start tweeting every other day or once a week, whatever you feel would be appropriate. This is great because it shows the community that you're personable, you're approachable, you don't have to try to only be philosophical in everything you say. You can talk about how you spilled coffee on your way into work that morning. It makes people realize that you're a real person too. And from a staff point of view, it makes a great connection with the people. And then YouTube. We see YouTube videos all the time. And someone who's lost, who's sitting at home, maybe scared to go into the church building, is much more likely to hop online to watch a video of your Christmas program that you did, or to watch a testimonial of someone that something happened in the church. So if you upload videos of things that you've done, or perhaps the pastor wants to give a little word, and show these videos online, then those that are lost are much more likely to see it, feel more comfortable, and come later. It's also a great way for those who missed out on something to catch up on anything they missed. Now in the future, you could go into local magazines, newspapers, or billboards, but you have to think about your niche market. Who is the best person for you to reach, and how's the best way to reach them? Guerrilla marketing is becoming increasingly popular as well. In our local community of Lynchburg, how many of you have seen Freedom 424 stickers? Okay, a large majority of you have seen this. Brentwood Church here in Lynchburg started working with a ministry to help girls in Thailand who have been enslaved. And they started printing stickers. Now stickers go on the back of cars, they go on computers, they go on notebooks, they go anywhere. It's very simple, but it doesn't talk about the message of just inviting people to Brentwood. It talks about supporting a cause. And the purpose is to promote supporting things that Jesus would have supported, or loving people with the love of Christ. So as I said before, find your niche market and then focus on your community. So Johnson, in his book, Telling the Good News, a public relations handbook for churches, said, that advertising is not effective. It's not if you write in the sky on a cloudy day, distribute handbills to the bird's nests in the neighborhood, paste a 24-sheet billboard poster on the reverse side, garble a radio or TV message, mail a well-written letter to a list of names whose only addresses are on tombstones in a cemetery, or in any other way misuse advertising. Okay, this is kind of a silly hyperbole here, but it basically tells you that advertising is only as effective as the people we are reaching. It's only as effective as finding our niche market and realizing what's the best way to reach them. Using cheesy signs on the side of the road for our church is probably not going to be the best way to reach them, but it's not beyond our reach to use church marketing. I've showed you some practical ways that you can do that within a budget. So in conclusion, I've told you about the importance of advertising, church marketing, some suggestions for marketing a church, and then conclusion. And hopefully now you have a better understanding of how and why you should market your church. And when you go to build a creative team within your church, you'll have ways of promoting the cause of Christ, not just your local church. Thank you.